This is the first of two B mains.
B main number one. They're only going to take three. Three is the big number. It's not Earnhardt, baby. It's the top three, and those transfer into the big Firecracker 100.
As we take a look at the super clean B main number one starting grid, and Kenny, the B main, the bread and butter race, the last chance to get into the dance. If you're in this race, what's going through your mind?
Well, first of all, the B main is almost like an A main. I mean, you have got great race car drivers in here. I mean, I've seen B mains that have had Bloomer in them before, Scott Bloomquist. I've seen Billy Moyer in B mains. So, I mean, you got to look at this field. These are strong cars. So you're saying, I've got to beat some of these guys, and they're really good.
Well, the guy that is on the point, that is Mike Blose. Right next to him, we find the 28 of Eddie Carrier Jr. Keep your eye on that 44H. That belongs to Dave Hess Jr., and we are underway. As a matter of fact, I know you have raced against that number 44H of Dave Hess Jr. on occasion.
I have. You know, I've got my super late model, run the Prelude to the Dream. Ran a lot of races, and getting to know a lot of these dirt guys now. And look at this. I mean, they're already 2 and 3 wide. Look at this, 3 wide down the front stretch.
Nobody leaving anything on the table. They're letting it all hang out. Hess right there on the top side as they work their way down into turn number 3 and 4, being challenged by Ron Davies in the 71D.
And they're bottoming out the right front. These guys got to make sure. Look how close the right front corner gets. If that right front digs in, that's really going to mess your car. Look at this. I love this side by side.
Eddie Carrier Jr. out of Salt Rock, West Virginia, takes the lead from New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania's Mike Blose.
I can't contain myself up here in the booth right now. I mean, this is getting unbelievable. I mean, these guys, top 3. So they're sitting there. Now, they know right now, this is the transfer spot we're looking at. The 44, the 21, side by side, the 71, excuse me. Race fans, this is it. Oh, the 71 loses the transfer spot.
Davies, that is Ron Davies in the number 71D, holding on to the back bumper of the 44 of Dave Hess Jr. Matt Lux in that number 21 machine. He rides right there looking for a place to race. Grooves all over this racetrack coming to you from the Quaker State Speed Cam.
And the 71 of Davies is not giving up. Look how hungry he is. He can hardly contain himself. Oh, no, is he going to go off the edge? Oh, he's flirting with disaster right now.
Matt Lux in the 21L closing in on these two drivers into turn number 3 and 4. Look at this. They're using every inch of the speedway.
The 44 right now has the transfer spot. Dave Hess, he's thinking, I can't mess up. I'm running third. But look at this. Oh, no, is he going to slide it? They bang.
They're not afraid to rub wheels. 8 wheels better than 4 through the corner.
And I'm going to tell you one thing. That's what Bobby Allison, the great Bobby Allison, always taught me. Be on the inside, baby. 8 wheels. They're not done yet. They're still going at it.
Mike Blose is running away with this one. Dave Hess in the 44 second. Ron Davies holding on to the 3rd and final transfer position. But Matt Lux is right there knocking on the door.
Man, I'm going to tell you what. Davies is not giving up. Something tells me he's going to try to make a slide job. You can tell Davies really wants this bad, but there he is. That's his Achilles heel. That's where he's losing all his time.
Right there in corner number 2. If you were in that car right now riding with Ron Davies, what would you be telling him on how to navigate that corner?
Oh, gosh, man, these guys are good, but I would say, look, let off a little bit early because, look, here we go. Here's this problem. Up, and then opens the door up right now, but he's still getting a good forward bite down the straightaway. He's searching every groove up. He's mopping the racetrack up, they would say. Here we are, almost side by side again. They're trying to run the 44 down of Hess. Dave Hess looking good in the transfer spot, but he floats with the high side.
They have to be careful up on the top side of the speedway, especially off of corner number 2. There's a lip. It'll go right off the back chute. Eddie Carrier Jr. in that number 28 having a good run right now as he continues to lead the way. As we take a look at the running order, Coffey in the 11th position right now. He's one of the cars that had to come from the C-Main.
Wow, I'm going to tell you, look at the great driving. Here he is, gets right by John Mason, or he gets on the inside of Mason. They got a great duel going on. 4 wide down the front straightaway. Look at this, total chaos.
And they're doing this without spotters. There's nobody telling them where anybody is on the track. This is seat of your pants driving.
Oh man, I love it. One thing about dirt racing is you're waiting to hear noise, race fans. You say to yourself, oh, look at Mason. Up, over, oh, he's out.
John Mason in the number 72M coming to a stop on the top side of the speedway. Doesn't look like he can make it into the pit area. And we are going to be under caution. Eddie Carrier Jr. didn't want to see that.
Well, he sure didn't. But I can say one good thing about Carrier. We're over halfway. It's going to be single file restarts. He's not going to have to worry about double file restarts, so he'll be on his own when he goes green flag.
We have 7 laps remaining in this first 20-lap B main. Who will transfer to the A? Stick around to find out. Welcome back to the Lernerville Speedway, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, B main number 1, 7 laps to go. Eddie Carrier Jr. leads. Mike Blose in the number 5 car, and lurking back there, Dave Hess Jr. in the final transfer position.
And right now, these guys are saying, look, we just want to finish this race. Oh, I knew it. He's flirting with that outside. Finally up off the edge.
Right, you can push the envelope, but don't get a paper cut. Look at Vic Coffey down the middle as Coffey picks up 2 positions.
They need to nickname him Showtime because we're over halfway. It's time to go.
He's working on the number 56. That is Russell King as they exit corner number 2. Davies not going away soon, though, in that 71D.
I'm going to tell you what, Coffey's not done. He started in the back. I mean, he's getting it on right now. If he can get past the 56, he's got a shot. Get by Russell King. Here we go. Oh, Carrier almost lost the lead. Caution.
Trouble on the speedway. Yellow lights are on. Eddie Carrier Jr., your race leader, Mike Blose, was all over him. Looks like somebody shredding a tire on the speedway.
The truck drivers on the United States Highway, they call that a gator.
Interesting. Tough like a gator.
Yeah, blown tire.
Sarah Jane Hunt's in the pits with 2 drivers qualified for the race.
I'm down here with 2 guys who at any point in the season have been on top of the point standings. Right now on top is Josh Richards. Josh, you pulled 6th tonight. That's where you're going to start. You're still looking for your first major event win. Are you going to go all out tonight looking for that, or are points still in the back of your mind?
Points are always in the back of your mind, you know. Right now our focus this year is just trying to get a good solid finish, and if we're able to get up, be there at the end, we're going to do all we can to win the race, and just we're going to have to conserve for a while if we can, and the track's different than it has been the last few nights, so it'll be interesting.
And now the defending champion, who's down to 3rd right now in the points, and you're still looking for your first win of the season. You drew the pole position. How are you approaching tonight's race?
Nah, we got a good car tonight. We're going to go out there for the first 50 and just try to ride and see where we can maintain, and then the last 50 we're going to race.
Between Darrell Lanigan, Josh Richards, and Steve Francis, by the end of the night, who knows who's going to be on top of the points?
2 different strategies.
Oh, I love it. Lanigan's the old guy. He's like, I'm going to ride, take care of my tires. The young kid's like, well, I'm thinking about points, but, you know, I want to win it all. I mean, I understand both sides.
One of the best races you will see all season long, the Firecracker 100, and we are here on speed. We get the green. This is the first of 2 B mains with 5 laps remaining. Only 3 cars are going to qualify. Matt Lux in that 21L, he is on the outside looking in, trying to get around the 44 of Hess.
You can get so much forward bite off that high side, but man, I'm going to tell you what. Look here. Oh, man, what a job on the inside of Hess. This is wild as we go into 1.
Lux changed lanes without using a blinker. He's on the bottom side. Will he throw the slider on Hess? Yes, he does to take over 3rd.
And we knew this was coming. I mean, this is it, race fans. Look at Hess. He's going to try to get it, but he can't get in there hard enough. I mean, the top 3 go to the B main for the Firecracker 100. This is the transfer spot.
Working it up off of corner number 2. Eddie Carrier Jr. leads the way, and we are under caution one more time. 1 car in trouble. It looks like it's the 56 of Russell King out of Bristolville, Ohio, going around on the top side of turn 4. Well, he's able to get the car fired back up, and he will regroup at the back of the pack. Down in the pit area, Sarah Jane Hunt is standing by with the outside pole sitter for the Firecracker.
Steve Francis starting 2nd tonight. You're taking in the preliminaries. What do you see out there for the track tonight?
We're just watching to see how much the speed's slowing down. You know, they had it a little wet there for the C main and the B mains. There's still 70 more laps before we even start our feature, so just trying to get an idea of how fast the track's going away.
Last night you ran well in your heat race. You won your heat race. You haven't even been out for hot laps yet, but what are you expecting?
Oh, it's going to be slick and slow like last night. I would say, the guy that leads the race early is probably not going to be the guy that winds up winning just because the speed of the racetrack is going to change so drastically.
Well, he's starting 2nd, so he might hang back a little bit. He doesn't want to lead early.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, Steve Francis, what a great race car driver. He knows what the racetrack is going to do. Here Eddie Carrier is trying to get into the A main, but let's watch the transfer spot. Dave Hess got passed by Matt Lux. He's going to look up high, try to get some moisture. Here we go.
Let's see how it all plays out. We have 3 laps remaining. Restart on lap number 17. Eddie Carrier Jr. leads the charge on the top side as they exit the turn.
Oh, did I call this one? There's Hess. Oh, man, they all about to go off the edge. They're all riding high right now, trying to get that moisture.
Working it through corner number 3 and 4. Here comes Lux around the top side with 2 to go.
Man, oh, into the wall. Hess into the wall. Trying to enter too high. He's not done yet, though. Here he comes.
He's back to position number 4, and Eddie Carrier breaks.
No, I don't believe it. Oh, my gosh.
Eddie Carrier out of Salt Rock, West Virginia, leading this race and bringing out the caution, Kenny.
Oh, race fans, you're at home going, okay, he broke. You don't understand. This is big.
Sarah Jane Hunt is standing by in the pit area. She is with another driver that is going to be in the Firecracker 100. Sarah?
Lernerville is like a home track for Chubb Frank. Chubb, you know this place really well. What do you see? What can we expect in the main event tonight?
Well, I actually think the racetrack's going to be pretty nice. What I could see after last night, it was real slick. They got a cushion tonight. Right now it's real fast, but it's going to slow down. But it might be a tire game tonight. I thought it wasn't going to be, but now there might be some choices that maybe that the guy could go to. And, before I didn't think it was going to be. But that's all we're doing right now is trying to figure out what we need for the feature.
The choice is you can go soft, medium, hard. What do you think everyone is going to go with?
I would say medium to hard. I think anybody's going to go soft. I just don't think you can make it.
Okay. It's going to be a long night, 100 laps, and everybody here in these stands would like to see Chubb Frank in victory lane.
That is the look of determination right there on Chubb Frank's face.
Man, I mean, look, all these guys we're interviewing right now, I mean, they're winners. They're champions. These guys know what to do. They're talking about tire selection. What are we going to do? Too hard, the tire might seal over. It might never get enough bite. Too soft, we'll tear it up. You got to make the right tire selection.
Look who is lurking in the shadows. Vic Coffey. He came from the C main. He is in the 5th position right now. He needs to be in the top 3. Does he have enough, Kenny, to get up there?
Oh, he has enough. It's just, do we have enough time? Here Blose is. He's the leader now. Eddie Carrier's out of the race. Blose takes the lead.
Brandon Kinzer, that number 18. Keep your eye on him. He rides in 4th. Only the top 3 are going to go to the A. This is the first of 2 B mains. Hess pedaling hard, going after Matt Lux.
Oh, Hess, he found some moisture right there in the middle of the track. Oh, look at this. We are not messing around. Okay. Wow, what a move on the outside.
Final lap, Vic Coffey sits back in 4th. Hess going after Lux. Coffey needs to get around Dave Hess as they charge into turn number 3 and 4. This is to find out who gets into the Firecracker. Close is going to win it. Down to the line. It's Hess by a half car length.
Oh my gosh. Coffey misses the Firecracker 100 by half a car length. Blose gets the spoils of victory. He won the B main and he's in the big one. But there it is, the 44. He feels like the $1 million man. No, he's not Donnie Moran, but he's in now.
It's the Firecracker 100. B main number 1 is in the books. B main number 2 is on the track.
You mean this is the A main?
No, this is B main number 2, Kenny.
But I'm looking at names. I see Earl Pearson, Steve Shaver, Clint Smith, Shane Plant. So this must be the A main.
No, this is only B main number 2. These guys haven't got to the show yet.
You've got to be kidding me.
I would not kid you.
Race fans, I know it. The point I'm trying to make, this is how tough this series is. I mean, look at this. Earl Pearson. I mean, Clint Smith on the front row of a B main. Unbelievable.
20 laps the distance. 3 more cars to make their way into the Firecracker 100. The green lights are on and away we go. There's more than just bragging rights on the line here.
And look at this. I mean, they're not messing around. We're already 3 wide in turn 2. Oh, here we go already.
1 car in trouble. That's the number 10 going around Gary Lyle and sets off a chain reaction.
And race fans, let me tell you what's happening. The adrenaline is flowing, so they don't know that the track is not fast anymore. In other words, the track is slippery. They go flying down into 1, and they're like, oh no.
Let's take a look at what happened. The number 10 car on the top side, Gary Lyle, just loses the handle on it, and everybody has a meeting of the metal.
Yep. Gary Lyle up high. Here we go. Seeking moisture, none there. He's surprised. Oh no, he about spins out, takes everybody out.
Robbie Blair in the 111 caught up in that. John Garvin in the number J4. Tony Mussolino in the number 21J also caught up. So some significant work that the tracks crews are going to have to do right now. Sarah Jane Hunt is working the pits for us. She has caught up with B main winner number 1. Sarah?
Every time we come here to Lernerville for the Firecracker 100, Mike Blose, you put on quite a show for us. You won your B main tonight. Do you have any left for the feature event?
We got to get a little bit better. Eddie Carey, he should have won that one, but he broke and we lucked out and won it. But I think we'll be all right. It's a long race. These guys are pretty good in slick stuff, and we're not as good as they are in slick stuff. But hopefully we can do something different here. We've got a new car here. We got from Brian Doherty. It's a Rocket, and he's been working with us, and he's getting it pretty good. So hopefully he has something else left for us to put in this thing.
You seem like a patient man. A lot of guys talk about having patience here in this 100-lap event. Are you going to you're going to start in the back. You're going to lay back there a little bit and see how the night unfolds?
Yeah, we'll just take it easy. I mean, you only need to run the last 20 laps, truthfully, as long as you can just keep passing cars now and then. And it's a long race, and just bide time, because there's going to be a lot of wrecks probably. Normally it takes some cars out, and just bide your time and be patient and hope you're there at the end.
And Mike Blose, I'm going to start calling him Showtime. Every time we come here to Lernerville, he puts on a show for us all.
Boy, Kenny, you nearly jumped out of your chair when he mentioned that this track was starting to slicken up.
Well, you look at some of the great drivers. I mean, there's an old saying, the money is won when the track gets slippery, and that's so true. So he knows where his weak link is, and that's when the track gets slippery.
Interesting, he also said that he's going to ride around and then he's going to go after it with 20 to go.
And these guys right here, they're not riding around. The top three go to the A main. Earl Pearson on the inside.
The Hurricane out of Jacksonville, Florida. Cat Daddy Clint Smith clawing his way to the #1 spot off of corner number 2, and the mad scramble behind him. Look at this, 3 deep into 3.
And this is definitely a hornet's nest, but right now these guys are trying to get to the transfer spot. The top 3, look here, we got some big names. There's Shaver in the number 30. He's saying, I got to get to the 3rd spot because I'm the man. I deserve to be there.
We saw the drivers that are qualified for the A main intently watching the first B main, but these drivers were watching that race as well.
Oh, absolutely. We got guys locked in the A main because they're sitting here watching this race. Why? Because they know that number 30 right there of Steve Shaver. They know he is one of the guys to beat. He just happens to be in this B main, but he's not in the A main yet. He's not in 3rd spot. He's panicking. He's got to get up there.
Steve Shaver out of Vienna, West Virginia, running back there in position number 5. Jeremy Miller out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, running in 6th, but it is Sonoya, Georgia's Clint Smith in the 44 leading the way. He has not had the kind of season that he would like to have on the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, so getting into the Firecracker 100 will be a big step in turning his season around.
Anybody that gets into the Firecracker 100, it makes your year. Especially for some of the local drivers. Look at this. Shane Clanton, he's not in it yet. He's not in the A main. He's mired in traffic up over the cushion. He gets slid by the 11. Shane Clanton saying to himself, I'm a winner. I win big races. What am I doing in the B main? And I can't even get into. He's back in 10th spot.
Shane Clanton has already won a big $20,000 to win race this year. That coming back at the Farmer City Illini 100. He would like to add another big paycheck to his bank account this year.
Here goes Clanton. He's looking at everything. But I want to make a comment about dirt racing in general. Shane Clanton winning $20,000 earlier this year. That's what dirt racing will do to you. It will humble you. Look at him. He's up over the cushion. He is not giving up. But from week to week, from day to day, from minute to minute, lap to lap, you get my point. That's what dirt racing will do to you. You've got to chase the track.
And you have to chase it. Guys read books. They read racetracks. This track is going to constantly change for the rest of the night.
This is only a 20-lap race. As you can see, we're at lap 9 right now. I guarantee you in 5 laps, this will probably not be your lineup. They'll probably change around. The track's going to dry out.
Look at these 2 drivers, a pair of 11s right now. That first number 11, the black and green one, that is Austin Hubbard. Behind him, Tyler Reddick. They are running in 3rd and 4th. 2 young guns behind the wheels of super late models.
My gosh, they're growing them young. They're breeding them young now. These guys are coming out of the womb 6 years old. They're in go-karts, 10 years old. They're looking at guys like Jeff Gordon. Look at these 2 young guys. They're in full-blown late models. How would you like your teenager son to be driving an 800-horsepower car? These guys are up on the cushion. They're getting it on.
And what an education. They're being taught by some of the best professors in the world of dirt track racing.
14 years old, and now you have Steve Shaver getting ready to slide you. These kids aren't even old enough to get a valid driver's license. But here comes Shaver. I mean, he's looking now, and he's got to get it. I mean, he's got to get in the top 30.
Steve Shaver out of Vienna, West Virginia is going to take a look to the inside, looking for the 5 spot. Nothing there. These kids may be young, but they have a wealth of experience.
But you know what I see? I see dust flying now, and this track is really drying out. Lap 13 of 20 laps. Here comes Shaver. He's, the 11 says, I'm going to try a different lane. Will Shaver get on his outside? And I'm going to tell you what, the leader is right there. Wow, caution.
Oh, this is going to slow the pace. One car in trouble here. Lap number 13, we've got John Garvin in the J4 and Tony Mussolino in the number 21M. Well, they've stopped separately on the Speedway, but we are under caution. This will give all the drivers an opportunity to cinch up the belts as we will have a shootout to find out who will transfer to the A-Main. More from Lernerville when we return. It's series here on Speed, the Firecracker 100 presented by GottaRace.com. And Kenny, it is coming down to crunch time for the second and final B-Main. Is only 3 drivers are going to get into the show, and it's Clint Smith leading the way.
And here we go. I've got goosebumps. You know why? There's some big names back here. Shaver, Clint, they're not in yet.
Tyler Reddick in the number 11 trying to fend off the challenges of Steve Shaver in the number 30 car. They've got Austin Hubbard in the green and black number 11. Here comes Shaver to the inside of Reddick.
Shaver says it's time to use the right side of my car. Oh, he was nice to him just then. I don't think they're going to be nice here in a little bit.
When do you know when it's time to not be nice?
Oh, when it's showtime, baby. When the Firecracker won. Oh, here we go. Not right now. Right now. It's not time to be nice. 6 to go. Coming to 5 to go. Shaver high. 2 wide off the 4. Whoa!
It doesn't get any better than this at the Lernerville Speedway for the right to go to the A-Main, the Firecracker 100. Here comes Austin Hubbard to the inside of Tyler Reddick as 2 young guns doing battle into 3 and 4.
They are not pedaling the over the cushion. Up over the cushion. Shaver. Oh, slides him.
He moves up to 4th as Earl Pearson Jr. takes the lead up way from Cat Daddy Clint Smith with 4 laps remaining.
Clint Smith says, I got second. I'm still good. They're talking to themselves right now. Look at Shaver, riding high. Here comes the wall. He misses it just barely. Oh, there's a crossover.
Wow, you don't learn that in driver education as he takes the 3rd spot away. Now they're going to go after Clint Smith.
Wow, Shaver drives in the corner so hard, he almost takes out Clint Smith for 2nd. Look at this.
Austin Hubbard in the number 11 out of Seaford, Delaware, wants to get into the Firecracker, but he loses some ground to Shaver. Shaver's going to go to the inside of the 44 of Clint Smith for 2nd.
Race fans, we're at the racetrack. I got goosebumps. I don't know how you can sit down on your couch right now. 2 to go to be in the Firecracker 100.
Shane Clan in the 25, looking to get around Austin Hubbard. They touch, they bump, they rub on the final lap. We're going to see 1 to go as it's Earl Pearson Jr. leading them down. Does Clanton have anything for the 44 of Clint Smith?
Is it a big slide job? Here we go. This is it. Wow, look at this. Pearson wins.
2nd to the line will be the 30 of Steve Shaver. Clint Smith holds off Shane Clanton to get into the Firecracker 100.
Oh, my Lord. I am wore out, race fans. Here we are high above, and there he is. Earl Pearson definitely is happy. That's over now. Clint Smith, happy. That's over now. And there's Shaver. Shaver comes. He was the biggest mover. He was very impressive.
The Armor All finish of B-Main number 2. Pearson wins it. Shaver 2nd. Clint Smith 3rd. They go to the A-Main. Chicken being put on the grill, getting fired up. Drivers are getting fired up. We hope you're getting fired up. I know Kenny's fired up. And the Firecracker 100 is next. Shane Andrews, along with Kenny Wallace and Sarah Jane Hunt, we're bringing you all the racing action. A beautiful race, a beautiful night for the races, Kenny.
I'm going to tell you what, look at this. I mean, I keep talking about goosebumps because they're lined up. It's the calm before the storm.
The Hoosier Tire track fact, 4/10 of a mile, 24-degree banking, and this track is held up very well.
It's awesome. I mean, it's smooth. That's all any race car driver can ask for.
28 cars, 100 laps, $30,000 to the winner.
And the cautions don't count. That means we're going to go green flag, and every lap will count under green.
One driver looking for his first Firecracker 100 is an 18-time series winner, and he has changed his program for 2009. In the first 3 years of the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, Rick Eckert captured win after win after win. In the 2 years since, Eckert has struggled to maintain those winning ways. Now, Eckert looks to find a new edge on the competition by crossing over to the dark side to join Scott Bloomquist and Team Zero.
I've watched these cars for years, and you go to Eldora and that, and as the race goes on, here he comes, you know, in any big race, and here he comes, he's always the guy to beat. And I've often said, no matter what car I was driving, said, man, I'd really like to sit in that car of his, and you know, and now I finally got the chance to sit in this car, so I'm excited. I can't wait.
Joining Team Zero isn't as easy as signing up. Your application must be approved by the voodoo child himself.
Well, I tried to get with Scott a couple years ago, and he was busy. They weren't really ready to sell cars to anybody.
It just never did work anything out. I wasn't interested in selling cars to what I call the top drivers.
One day we went out on his boat, and we went out mead boarding and had a good time, and we talked for about a month after that, a month or two, and got everything worked out, and I couldn't wait for race season to get here.
We communicate well, and anything that we discuss, he's got some feedback and an opinion of his own that I like. You know, if I suggest something and he might say, yeah, you know, that makes sense, but I think I'm rather go this other way. And I like that, because I'll go the way I want to go, and then he might go a little bit different, and end of the night we find out who was right.
Any change to your program comes uncertainty, but Rick knows the track record of the Bloomquist chassis and is confident that this year will be a new beginning.
Now I think we finally found our niche. You know, we got cars from Scott Bloomquist, and we finished every spot in the top 10, and we finished the top 10 every race. You know, so I think it's just around the corner to where we'll be winning races. And if going by the way things look, this should be a really good year for us.
Rick Eckert sits in the familiar 24 with the familiar colors, but under the car, it's the new Bloomquist chassis. The first year with this chassis, you have 2 wins. You're currently fourth in points. Are you happy with your progress so far?
So far, we've been pretty good. The last couple nights, we struggled a little bit, and tonight we weren't very comfortable practicing, so we made a bunch of changes here, and we'll see. Hopefully, we made the right ones.
Bloomquist chassis are known to kind of come in as these races go on. They do well over the longer hauls. Can we see another Bloomquist car in victory lane tonight?
I sure hope so. Hopefully it's an orange one.
Rick Eckert, he's having a season that's full of momentum. He hopes to continue that momentum here with a victory in the Firecracker 100.
His best finish in a Firecracker 100 came 1 year ago, where he took home the 11th place money. Rick Eshelman dressed up as Uncle Sam. The gentleman start your engines commands from the kids.
No better way to do it. One of those kids might be a race car driver one day, but when I look at this field, I think, okay, the best in the United States, here they are getting their gears ready. 100 laps, that's like a Daytona 500.
We are just moments away from the drop of the green. It's the Firecracker 100. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the World of Outlaws Late Model Series here on Speed. It is the Firecracker 100. All the qualifying is done. The 4-wide salute to the fans. It is time to go racing. Let's take a look at the super clean start of the race starting lineup. Steve Francis and Daryl Lanigan will make up row number 1 with Scott Bloomquist and Jamie Lathram in the 6 car. They'll be in row number 2. Row number 3, Kid Rocket, Josh Richards, and Doug Horton in the number 46. Row number 4, Jared Miley and Tim Fuller as the cars start to pick up some speed.
Yeah, the World of Outlaw Late Model Series, they give these guys a chance to get some heat in their tires. They have some hard tires on because remember, 100 laps. You cannot run a soft tire tonight. You'll have that baby blown out in about 20 laps. So hard tires, look how hard the track is. But it's a great racetrack, beautiful facility, and very smooth track.
As we take a look at the rest of the super clean start of the race, starting a lineup, Keith Barbara, who came out of one of the B mains, Earl Pearson Jr., who won a B main. They have a long road to go if they want to get up and win this $30,000 A main.
You know, I look at Earl Pearson. This is a guy, he's a winner. He started, mid-pack. He made it through the B main. He knows what the track is doing. But, who has the advantage? I don't really know. You're looking at these guys up front here. You look at Bloomer. He's a big money winner. When it pays big money, here he is. He rises to the occasion. Everybody knows that. They know he's one of the best. But I'm going to tell you what, this year, Bloomer's getting a lot of challenges.
Taking a look at the Fusion in-car shot from Steve Francis, and now on board with Daryl Lanigan. Both of these shots, I'm sure, will provide us with some great action. Also, with one of the Fusion Energy in-car shots. Well, Kenny, it's all come down to this. It is no longer just a race. It is the Firecracker 100. $30,000 to the winner and bragging rights for 1 year. We are ready to get underway. It's the super clean start of the race, and the Firecracker 100 is underway.
Here we go. Green flag. These guys are saying 100 laps. I'm sitting in my seat. I'm all comfortable. Let's log some laps here now. We don't want to wreck right away.
Taking a look at Steve Francis on board, watching him work, intensity in his eyes as he motors down the straightaway.
You know, the next time we get an in-car shot, I'm going to be quiet because as a race car driver, I want to hear what these guys are doing with their throttle.
Everybody working the throttle down the backstretch. Here comes Brian Burkhofer as we take a look from the Quaker State Speed Cam as Steve Francis leads them around.
I think right now what I notice is just a lot of calm drivers. Nobody going crazy yet. You know, setting the pace, taking care of their cars. You know, 100 laps, only 3 laps gone by. But race fans, these are professionals. They don't go beating and banging on each other. It's not about that.
But every driver that Sarah talked to said that they were going to ride it out early on, and then the last 20, 30 laps, they were going to start to make their moves.
Well, let's point it out to all the people in the United States. Like I said, 100 laps, race fans, this is a marathon. Normal dirt racing is 20, 25 laps. 50 would be a long one. So this big race here in Lernerville, Pennsylvania is like a marathon.
And these cars are not the easiest to drive. You have to be mentally tough as well as physically tough.
Yeah, look at this. Look at Burkhofer on the inside of Bloomquist. Now, something I've been noticing this year, even though Bloomquist is great, he's one of the best, he's getting challenges now. I think everybody's starting to try to work harder, catch up. We have a caution.
Yellow lights coming on as we watch this battle between Burkhofer and the Zero Machine of Scott Bloomquist as we are under yellow. Debris on the speedway, the reason for the caution. We are 5 laps in. Steve Francis leads. We have more from Lernerville coming up. Stay tuned. 100, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series on Speed from Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania. This is the Delaware double file restart. Race leader Steve Francis gets to choose which lane he wants to be in all by himself.
Here we go. Francis takes the lead. Right now he's in charge. 2 wide. Jimmy Marrs back there on the bottom, the white number 28. The dust is flying. The track is slippery. Everybody trying to get into their own grooving and get their rhythm built up.
Working it off of corner number 4, you see Brian Burkhofer battling with Scott Bloomquist and Josh Richards as they head up into the turn. That is the battle for position number 3, 4, and 5. Tim Fuller in the 19 in this mix as well as he battles the 2 of Brady Smith.
You know, as a dirt driver myself, the first thing I look at is these professional race car drivers. They are the best in the United States. And look at the different groups they're running on the bottom.
When they look at you and see the success that you've had in NASCAR, they put you on a pedestal. But it sounds to me that you put these guys on a pedestal.
I mean, that's what's most embarrassing to me. I mean, I'm grateful that people, you know, I've won 9 nationwide races, but these guys, this is the best of dirt racing. I mean, look at this. All these different, listen. I love this.
Look at there's Daryl Lanigan.
Listen. Now, race fans, out on the gas so long. Look at this, side by side. Look at the car on the inside of it.
Literally rolling the car through the corner. Steve Francis on the top side. Daryl Lanigan on the bottom. This is the battle for the number 1 position.
But for all race car drivers all over the United States, you listen to what speed does here. We got the in-car crammer. The guy goes into the corner. It sounds like he's day driving. He's lets out, coasts around, gets back on the gas. It's all about rolling the corner.
But it doesn't look that way from where we're sitting up here in the booth or for the folks underneath us in the grandstand.
So let's remember earlier in the day with the B main. Wow, look at that. I'm going to tell you what, Francis just about gets into the wall there. Of course, he knew where it was, but these guys are threading the needle. But they're keeping their cars straight. They're not doing anything bonsaiing. 2 professionals, Lanigan, Francis.
back on the hammer. That is a spectacular sound. And you can see through his shield the intensity in his eyes, how focused he is at the task at hand.
Now, what I'm going to do from now on is every time I see that, I'm just going to be quiet. I want everybody around the United States to just listen and look at the driver's eyes.
Darrell Lanigan grabs the lead as we are under caution. Yellow lights coming on. A car in trouble off of corner number 4. Greg Satterley out of Rochester Mills, Pennsylvania, bringing out the yellow as he pulls down into the infield area. Darrell Lanigan just grabbed the lead from Steve Francis when the yellow lights came on. Let's take a look at the top 5 after 14 laps. More from Lernerville when we return.
Here he is, look at side by side with Francis, but I'm going to tell you what, look at all these cars. I mean, these are awesome. There's Jimmy Mars, white number 28. He's a legend. He wins a lot of races. I think you can, here's Clanton. Well, let's talk about Clanton. He got a provisional. He's one of those drivers that runs the whole series, so he got into the race, even though he did not qualify through the B main.
He is happy to be in the race, and he is off the pace. Shane Clanton, the number 25, out of Locust Grove, Georgia, slowing in turn number 1. A tough break for the number 25 machine, bringing out the yellow flag here on lap number 16.
You know, it almost looks like something's broke on the left rear. The car's really sitting down hard. He's driving it in. Looking, guys everywhere right here. Okay, something right there sends him a message that something's not right. Left rear looks a little low.
Here's from the back straightaway, heading into turn 3.
Oh yeah, sets down really hard. Doesn't key. Yeah, look at the rear end, bouncing up and down. Something broke.
Sarah Jane Hunt down in the pits with more on the 25.
Shane Clanton and his crew are scrambling down here. They lifted the car up. We're looking under the left rear. It appears that the shock came loose. It's not broken. They just repaired it. Looks like they tightened it back up. They're going to get the tire back on and try to get Shane back out there before he loses too many more positions.
A tough break for Shane Clanton. This sets him behind the 8 ball just a little bit more. Already had to take the provisional to get into the show.
I'm going to tell you what, though. He earned the provisional. He earned it. He is a winner. So now we'll watch him come from the back.
They push him off as he comes out in front of the field as we get the green.
Wow, that is big. What drama.
Wow, they really had to hustle to get him out there as the field came bearing down on him. Shane Clanton wisely stays right to the inside. You are on board the Fusion Energy in-car shot with race leader Darrell Lanigan. Look at this battle for second behind him.
I love it. Look at this. I mean, who's going to lead? We don't know. Lanigan's leading now. Now they're side by side for second. Francis on the bottom. You got Berkey Burkhofer on the outside. Riding high, I'm going to tell you what, a 100-lap race, it almost scares me when they fool with that outside. They might go off the track.
Strategy from Kenny Wallace's standpoint in a 100-lap race. You want to be out in front, leading the way, showing everybody else the line, or would you rather be behind the leader, seeing what he's doing?
Well, I'll tell you what, I want to do what I need to do to make my car go. You know, I don't have enough patience as a dirt driver early in my career. I've been running dirt for 4 years.
Look at Rick Eckert work the wheel. He's not really having to work it that hard, is he?
I told everybody I was going to be quiet, and they caught up with me. But here, I tell you what, here's what I want to talk about. At the bottom of the track, it's wet, okay? And we know drivers seek out moisture because it's always the fastest way around. But some of the best in the United States, they say, heck, I'll just drive where it's black. People get a lot of respect when they can drive through the black, like Eckert's doing right now. See Eckert in the 24, white through the black. Okay, there's Burkhofer. He's see the brown dirt? That means the car's going to hook up and go quick.
Tim Fuller, the number 19 out of Edwards, New York, closing in on Berkey. Battle for third, and we are under caution once again. That is the number 46 machine of Doug Horton out of Brewston Mills, West Virginia. Coming to a stop, his best Firecracker 100 finish, a 23rd place finish in 2007, and it looks like the front end is not too healthy right now. And Bloomquist back in the pit area.
Scott, can you tell us what's going on with your car right now?
Yeah, we're not sure what it is. It's extremely loose.
All All right, a few words from Scott Bloomquist. He's obviously very frustrated being in the pits. This is the second time. They came in and changed a tire earlier, but this appears to be a totally different issue. Like he said, it's very loose, and that's not a good place to be here at Lernerville for 100 laps.
Yeah, but what I love about this, all you great race car drivers, you know, you get these crew members that go, oh, well, just man up, wheel it. Listen, this is Scott Bloomquist, one of the greatest drivers in not the United States, but the world. He says my car's loose. He's got to fix it. And that's what they're doing right now.
If I was his crew chief like Tommy Hicks and Scott Bloomquist says I'm loose, you know Tommy Hicks is going to fix it for him.
Oh, man, I got a buddy in Collinsville, Illinois. His name's Eddie Petroff. He always says, elbows up. Well, let me tell you something, Petroff. You know, right now, it looks like Bloomquist cannot get elbows up. He's so loose, so they got to fix it.
As we are back underway, it is Daryl Lanigan leading Steve Francis, Brian Burkhofer, Dale McDowell in that number 17M, and Tim Fuller now doing battle for positions number 4 and 5.
Now, that 19 right there, I got to tell you, you got to be careful doing that, because when you do that, that's Tim Fuller, great driver, that will really wear the tires out. But he is making some moves right now. Man, he looks good.
Dale McDowell and Clint Boyer's number 17M on the bottom, looking to get up and race with Brian Burkhofer, but he has to fend off the Empire Executioner, Tim Fuller. Meanwhile, Steve Francis trying to keep the 29 of Daryl Lanigan in his place. Oh, boy, wow.
No, this is a 100-lap race, drivers. This is 100 laps. We're banging already on lap 24, left rear flat on Tim Fuller.
Look at that, Tim Fuller, heavy damage on the number 19 machine as he came off of corner number 4, had to thread the needle between Burkhofer and the wall. Let's take a look at the replay here, Kenny. Fuller on the extreme top side, down into turn number 1 in contact. Did he just run out of room?
Hey, let me tell you something. That was nobody's fault. What that was Fuller having a bite. You know, and all of a sudden, Burkhofer says, there's nobody on my outside, but here comes Fuller out of nowhere.
But natural progression off of corner number 4 here with Burkhofer, that car is to slide up.
Yes. The rule of thumb is when you come off the bottom, you stay down the middle of the straightaway in dirt racing, unless you are so sure, and that's what happened.
Tim Fuller going to the assistance of his crew after contact with Burkhofer. More from Lernerville when we return. Welcome back to the Lernerville Speedway, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. Shane Andrews, Kenny Wallace, and Sarah Jane Hunt as Tim Fuller is in the pits. Let's go down to Sarah Jane for more on the 19 machine.
Tim, what happened?
Me and Burkhoff were trying to occupy the same space, you know. It was my fault probably. There looked like there was enough room, but there wasn't.
Lap 23, a lot of close racing. This is a race that these guys want to win, and they're not going to give an inch out there.
How difficult is it for a racer to admit that he may have been at fault?
Well, you always have to assume, you know, and you assume, okay, here's Fuller. He's got to assume that this guy's coming up. So what he's saying maybe I should have let out. This is a 100-lap race. You know, why do I got to get this position, you know, on lap 24? So even though, you know, we're used to 20-lap features, this is not a 20-lap feature. This is a 100-lap feature. So both drivers, great drivers, nobody at fault, just both of them saying, well, maybe I could have done this, maybe I could have done that.
You can see the damage on Brian Burkhofer's car, not as extensive as it is to the number 19 of Tim Fuller. So Berkey staying out there on the speedway, currently showing in position number 3.
You know what I'm noticing right now? I'm looking at Dale McDowell. Let's give a call to Clint Boyer. NASCAR driver Clint Boyer, paying it forward, just like the movie. Putting his money back into dirt racing. We got to give a shout out to guys like that. Give it up for Clint Boyer. Number 17, that's Dale McDowell. That is his driver.
Off of corner number 4, back underway. Brady Smith in the 2 car out of Sullen Springs, Wisconsin. Just took the 4 spot away on that restart from Dale McDowell, but McDowell feathers it on the low side, looking to get back around him.
Now really got some good forward bite right down the middle straight. Look at Blose. I mean, he's on the curb right there. the number 5 red and white car really running low.
Working it into turn at number 1, we see the Chubb Silla machine. Chubb Frank in the 1-star. All the way up the top side of the Speedway, opening the bottom for Josh Richards and Rick Eckert.
I want to talk about something Terry Phillips told me, a good driver in the Midwest. He said the difference between a good dirt driver and a great one is somebody that can ride the brakes, keeping the car up on the left rear. I wonder, I say to myself, how many drivers are doing that right now? How many drivers, when they enter the corner, are they riding the brake while they're on the gas at the same time? Doesn't look like Eckert is, because his car settles down on the left rear.
He is currently riding in 6. Chubb Frank right there, just took the 6th spot away, but for how long as Rick Eckert works the bottom. Josh Richards right there in the thick of this battle with the blue number 1 on the bottom side of the Speedway. 2 guys from Pennsylvania making the PA home fans cheer as we are under caution here on lap number 28. Yellow lights are on. Jimmy Mars left rear flat on the number 28 machine.
Yeah, you know, we're high atop this race, and I just didn't see that. I see no marks on his left rear. Looks like a left rear tire just went down.
Can tire issues come into play? Let's find out more with Sarah Jane Hunt. Sarah?
Drivers reference the fact that they wish they had a crystal ball when it came to what they should do on the gamble for tires. Shannon Rush, the product manager for Hoosier, I saw him walking around tonight, and he was talking to a lot of guys before the race. A lot of the drivers going up to them saying, hey, what should we use here? Shannon recommended the 1425. He said it's the standby Lernerville tires. A lot of guys went with that. He said, though, that some guys were arguing with him, saying, are you sure we shouldn't go a little bit harder? I walked around before the race started. I saw a lot of 1450s, a lot of 1425s. So it could be that small difference that makes the big decision here tonight.
You know, that's what I love about this sport. You know, if we all knew what was going to happen, why would we run the race? Now, look, this tire's got good tread. Look, there's the cut. Looks like it's been cut down. He has run over something. That Hoosier tire looks great. Still has a lot of tread on it.
Well, Jimmy Mars is going to have a long ways to go, but we're still early in this event. We'll see if he's able to make a charge back to the front. Standing room only crowd on their feet. More from Lernerville when we return. Plenty of action all weekend long for everybody here at the Speedway. Of Outlaws Late Model Series. Glad to have you here with us. I'm Shane Andrews along with Kenny Wallace and Sarah Jane Hunt. It is the Firecracker 100. Well, will tire issues be a play in this one? We're going to find out as we are ready to get things back underway. Daryl Lanigan, the Bluegrass Bandit, the defending World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion, is your race leader.
And you know what I like about this race? You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I can't tell you who's going to be leading 5 laps from now. Here we go. Green flag.
Listening to him work the motors into turn number 1 and 2. The man scrambled. Earl Pearson Jr. just threw the hip check on Mike Blose as they work their way into the corner.
That's one of the problems when everybody wants the bottom of the track. Everybody's wanting the bottom right now. Pearson was up to his door. Blose did not know he was there.
The only guy that doesn't want the low side is that man right there on the upper left-hand side. That is Brian Burkhofer.
Oh, man, Burke is great. He reminds me of Shannon Babb. Those guys, look at this. He's like, I don't care, I'm up here. I'll cheat death any time of the day. And look at him.
You've got to go, though, where there's nobody else running if you want to pass him.
I love to quote one of the greatest dirt track drivers to ever live, Kenny Schrader. He's ran everything. Schrader says, look, you got to go where they're not. Even if you lose spots, because, you know, that's the way racing is. I mean, look at Francis in 3rd right there. He's even up top now. Flanagan rolling the bottom. Man, he looks pretty down there. Oh, he misses his groove that time. Or maybe he preferred to go over there and see what's up here.
Well, Brian Burkhofer, the defending race winner of the Firecracker 100, looking to make it 2 in a row. He is out of Muscatine, Iowa, closing in on the 29 of Daryl Lanigan. Steve Francis still showing there in 3rd. Dale McDowell riding in 4th. as they head up into turn number 1 and 2. Josh Richards now moves up a groove to see what he can find to try and get around Chubb Frank.
And I want to talk about this blue number 1, right there on the outside of Eckert. The blue number 1, Josh Richards. His father builds, gosh, so many race cars throughout the United States. So not just is he Kid Rocket, but his dad owns dirt track racing. I mean, he builds everybody's cars.
That's a beautiful sound.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, because you just think they're so violent right now. Watching it, you're thinking, oh my God, they're going so fast, it's unreal. But race fans, they're hardly on the gas.
A pair of ones doing battle. Chubb Frank out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania. Kid Rocket, Josh Richards out of Shinston, West Virginia. Goes one groove higher, and Chubb Frank shuts the door. You've got youth and experience versus, well, youth and experience.
Yeah, I mean, the blue number 1, Josh Richards. I mean, we call him Kid Rocket because he's young. He came into the sport like a rocket. And, his dad, like I said, has built most of these race cars. You're thinking, how's this kid going to do since his dad builds about every race car there is? And the kid has not disappointed anybody. Kid Rocket, what a pleasant surprise in the sport. And there's Earl Pearson.
Started in 20th, had to come from the B main, currently showing in position number 8. The driver of the Bobby Labonte-owned number 44 machine out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Are you kidding me? He came from the B main. Okay, look at the top of your screen, race fans. Lap 37. That proves just because you're in the B main, it doesn't mean you don't belong. He's running 8th already.
Shane Clanton in the number 25, working his way back up through the field, currently 13th. Remember, he was one of our early race cautions.
Yeah, he was. And I'll tell you what you're looking for, it is a car that can last all night long. Shane looks like he's really sliding the rear. So let's see how long that right rear lasts.
Scott Bloomquist battling with the number 29 of Darrell Lanigan to stay on the lead lap, as Lanigan has a very fast race car. He is motoring through traffic. When we return, more from Lernerville. It's the Firecracker 100 here on Speed. Lap number 40, Darrell Lanigan in heavy traffic with Brian Burkhofer challenging.
Hey, talk about the lead all you want, but I'm going to tell you what, this is the biggest story of the year. Bloomquist, the zero car, the green one right there on your left-hand side. He is the great one. He's getting ready to go down a lap. He's got to stay on the lead lap, and he can get on the wheel.
Steve Francis just took second place from Burkhofer through traffic as the 29 of Lanigan about to put Bloomquist down a lap. Bloomquist, the winner of the inaugural Firecracker 100 back in 2007. 3 wide in traffic. Alex Ferree in the 4-car battling with the 19 of Steve Francis, and now Russell King holding up the leader a little bit as they head into turn number 1. Boy, you have to be so patient in lap traffic, don't you, Kenny?
Oh, man, we start out earlier this day. The track's wet. Everybody's driving so hard. Now look at this racetrack, just like racing on ice. But once again, this is where the money is won, when it's real slippery.
Steve Francis was a very good race car right now, as does the 15 of Brian Burkhofer, the 29 of Darrell Lanigan, all right there. This is heavy rush hour traffic on your television as Lanigan looking to hold them off as we take a look through the Quaker State speed cam. Don't you wish you were out there?
Oh, man, you know it. I mean, this is the best of the best. And look at the different grooves. I mean, look at Clint Smith. He's getting ready to slide off the racetrack. Then you got Steve Francis in this white 19. Lets off real early. Left front up over the curb, seeking moisture again. I talk about that all night long. Seeking moisture, what does that mean? He's trying to find the dirt that is wet so he can get a good grip. There's Lanigan in the 29 right there, right in the middle of the slippery part of the racetrack. That's very impressive when you can do that.
Darrell Lanigan has no wins in 2009. He has 4 second-place finishes on the tour, looking for his first win of the year, and this would be a big one to grab.
Oh, man, I mean, $30,000 to win? I mean, that'd take some of these guys another month. These are expensive race cars to run, so to win this race, not just to get the trophy, but that can propel these guys to better things because they'll have more money to make more speed.
Keith Barber in the 17 going down 1 to the lap counter, as is Rick Boom Briggs out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, and that number 99. They wisely pull right down to the inside. They allow the leaders to go by.
And you know what? There's no shame in doing that, because this might not be your night. Just to make this race, you can build a legend. So Boom Briggs, he might go back home and everybody might congratulate him because he made, you know, the big Firecracker 100. So no shame there.
Working it through corner number 3 and 4. Darrell Lanigan, the Fusion, number 29, brings him down to the line as we look at Jimmy Owens at the halfway point, currently riding back there in position number 8, the Newport Nightmare. Love that car, that number 20, sharp-looking green and black machine.
Newport, Tennessee, is that right?
Yes, it is.
My gosh, these guys are from all over the United States. They're north, south, east, west. It's one thing I love about this series. I mean, everybody from all over the United States, not just from one area.
Mad scramble behind the leaders. Earl Pearson Jr. in that number 44P. Remember, he came from the B main, closing in on Josh Richards right now for position. Russell King in that 56 car is down 1 lap to the leaders as they joust into turn number 1 and 2. Brady Smith right there in that number 2 car, also in your picture, trying to hold off Josh Richards.
Oh man, Josh Richards, currently 6. I love it. You know, the name Kid Rock, we keep talking about these nicknames. Well, it's why, because look at the kid. You know, this corner, he's on the bottom. Okay, let's watch this corner. Where's he going to go this corner? Oh, he's going to go high. Oh, he's in the middle of the track. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's awesome. He's what we call mopping the track up, looking for his best place, and his car will go the fastest.
And a great battle for 5th place with Brady Smith in the 2 machine. Meanwhile, Darrell Lanigan is looking to run away and hide. And Kenny, what makes racers race as good as they are, like Darrell Lanigan is here tonight leading this event, but next week he may not even be able to get out of his own way? It's not that Darrell Lanigan is a bad driver, it's just so many factors in dirt track racing.
Well, you know what? Lanigan is awesome tonight. But let's talk about Scott Bloomquist. He already went down a lap. Okay, tonight we're on brown dirt here at Lernerville. You know, we're north. We're north of the United States. We're up. Okay, now they might go down to the Midwest around Missouri and Illinois, and we call it Mississippi gumbo dirt. It might be black. It might be black dirt. Then you might go down to Tennessee, and then you deal with red clay dirt. I mean, you would think these guys have to be half farmer, you know? And I'm going to tell you what, I know this sounds funny, you might laugh at me, but I know some really, oh no, look at this, the left front tire. That thing's about broke off.
That is Dale McDowell in the number 17M. This is the battle for 3rd and 4th, and he's still able to race with Berkey.
And you know what? You know why? Because he's carrying the left front. The left front is very important. It is important, don't get me wrong, but he's able to. Now he's not keeping it up on the bars that much, meaning he's not riding the brake because it's not slamming down real hard, but he's doing his best with his driving. It's incredible that he's doing what he's doing. He's a good one.
Oh, he's one of the best you'll find behind the wheel of a late model. Dale McDowell in at the number 17M Mac Daddy out of Chickamauga, Georgia, holding off the challenges of Brian Burkhofer right now with an ill-handling race car in traffic.
Yeah, we're talking 40 laps to go for all you Clint Boyer NASCAR fans. This is his car driven by Dale McDowell. We give a shout out to these guys from NASCAR putting their money back into the sport. There's 2 Cup car owners here tonight. The number 17 right in the middle of your screen, Clint Boyer's car. Bobby Labonte's car, Earl Pearson, number 44. Love to brag on those guys.
And that 44 of Pearson is working just behind in the shadows as he has made his way through and up to from the B main. Darrell Lanigan in the number 29 still leading, and traffic has been a big part of this race.
And look how shiny the track is. I mean, the lights are glaring off. Ooh, baby, I love dirt racing. Look at that. Clint Smith.
That was putting Clint Smith down a lap with the number 29 of Darrell Lanigan and the number 19 of Steve Francis. Nobody giving an inch out there in traffic because they have their own little battle for position going on with someone else.
And you know what? While we have a little bit of time here, I like to talk about, you know, the psyche of the sport. Look at here. Okay, this is perfect, actually. The 44 of Earl Pearson goes through the B main. Oh, he's all bummed out. I got to go through the B main. Now here he is, has a shot to win the biggest race of the year, or one of the biggest races of the year. Then we look at Clint Smith, one of the great ones. goes down a lap. Bloomquist goes down a lap. But will it be headlines? No, but everybody in Dirt Nation will go, man, did you hear about Bloomer? He went down a lap. But did you hear about, Earl Pearson? He went through the B main. That's what I love about this sport.
And there's always going to be talk between the crew chief and the driver. They have a lot of notes. It's changing the car, hitting on the right combination as the night gets longer and the race gets stronger.
Yeah, and what's great about dirt racing is it's not driver versus crew chief like it is in NASCAR. A driver might have a bad race in NASCAR, the crew chief might go, the driver ain't driving. Well, you know what's great about this series? These guys working on their own race cars. And you know what? Next week, these guys, a guy that doesn't run good tonight might win. So here we are, Jimmy Mars trying to run Kid Rocket down.
Jimmy Mars had that flat tire, and he has made his way back up into the top 10, going after Kid Rocket for position. And we have trouble on the Speedway. 65 laps are in. Steve Shaver out of Vienna, West Virginia, coming to a stop.
I'll tell you, that's a safe move because he might not know when to get down, so pull it off, and it's a safe move.
Your race leader, can he hold on for his first Firecracker 100 win? Steve Francis and everybody else has thrown everything they've had at him. But right now, Lanigan is up for the challenge. More from Lernerville when we come back. Welcome back to the World of Outlaws Late Model Series here on Speed, the Firecracker 100. 35 laps remaining for this man, Darrell Lanigan. Let's take a look at the Armor All rundown. Lanigan leads, Steve Francis second, Brian Burkhofer third, Dale McDowell with a wounded race car holding on to position number 4.
Yeah, and I like this number 2, Brady Smith looking good. Of course, Earl Pearson coming out of the B main. We can't say that enough. We always like to let everybody know that there's fighters out here, people that go through the C main, the B main, and here they are. Earl Pearson, the best example, running 6th.
Ready to turn him loose. 35 laps remaining. Lanigan fires first. He's got Steve Francis on the back deck lid as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Dale McDowell being pressured now by Brady Smith and the 44 of Earl Pearson Jr.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is Dale McDowell going to finish this race with that left front? Race fans, the left front on the number 17 is broke. The tire has not fallen off yet.
I'll give you 30,000 reasons why he's looking to finish this race.
30? What is that? How much are we paying to win this race?
30,000.
$30,000? Oh, no, I jinxed him.
Dale McDowell in the 17M off the pace as he pulls it into the infield. His night is over after running consistently in the top 5. Well, that opens the door for everybody else behind them to get up and challenge your race leader, the number 29 of Darrell Lanigan.
Oh, man, I feel bad. Okay, quiet. Okay, what I hear is when he gets pointed straight, he really gets back to the gas hard. But I mean, as far as crazy stuff, I mean, when he gets into the corner, buddy, he's like he's on asphalt. He's rolling through the corner. He's letting the rear steer, he's letting the rear bars do all the work. The rear chassis is working real good. He gets that baby pointed like Jimmy Mars in the white 28 underneath Earl Pearson. It's showtime. 31 to go. Okay, my tempo's going to pick up. I'm getting excited. 31 laps to go for $30,000.
Jimmy Mars had a flat tire earlier in the event, just got around Earl Pearson Jr. for position number 5, and he is closing in on Brady Smith. Talk about a guy that's got the elbows up, and he is on the wheel. Look at this, move to the inside of Smith, looking for position.
And you got to give Brady Smith, I mean, a good call. I mean, he's been running great, but I mean, I feel like the driver. We started out this broadcast going, oh, here we are, and now all the drivers are feeling it. 29 to go.
Jimmy Mars is on the move. He is out of Menominee, Wisconsin, going after Solon Springs, Wisconsin's Brady Smith. Down to the line. Give it to Mars by a nose.
Who has the best tires left? Who has the most patience to let off the gas early and not slide across the track? Look at Brady, he's off the track.
Do you think that flat tire could have been a blessing in disguise for Jimmy Mars? After all, he had to put on new rubber.
I'm going to tell you what, There's no crime against making a pit stop in a 100-lap race, and he did it. Here he comes.
Working on the inside of Brady Smith, wheel to wheel off of corner number 2. Smith pushes up just a little bit. Mars to the inside by a half car length through 3 and 4.
Oh, man, when I was a kid, the announcer would say, door handle to door handle, wheel to wheel. Here they are, 26 to go, $30,000. Woo!
You're the announcer now. You can say it all you want, man. As they bring it off of corner number 2. Josh Richards, Shane Clanton. Clanton has already moved up 16 spots with the number 25.
No, you're kidding me. This is the same Shane Clanton that took the provisional. Good job to Shane Clanton and crew. What a way to keep digging. Here he is in the top 10.
Shane Clanton and his crew. Mark Lloyd is the crew chief, and if you remember 1 year ago, these two cars got together earlier in the race. Looks like they've learned something from that, racing each other here in the late stages.
Oh man, teamwork's what it's about. You gotta have a crew that believes in the driver. Look at this, Jimmy Mars on the outside of Francis.
He takes the 3rd spot away, and he drives around him like he's tied to a tree, and we are under caution. 76 laps are in, 24 laps remaining. Chubb Frank in the number 1 Star Machine out of Bear Lake, Pennsylvania, came to a stop onto the Speedway, and he pulls it into the pit area. Oh, baby, it is starting to get tight, hot, and heavy at the top of the field. Who's going to win the Firecracker 100? Stick around to find out.
The fastest.
Welcome back to the Firecracker 100, the World of Outlaws late model series here on Speed. If you have any fingernails, start chewing them now. This is going to be a dandy to the end. Chubb Frank brought out the caution. More on the 1 Star Machine with Sarah Jane.
During this caution period, Chubb Frank brought his car in. Earlier, we talked about tire compounds and whether to go with the 1450 or the 1425. Chubb and his team started the night on the 1450, and guess what? It was too hard, so they came in here on lap 76 and put on a 1425. We'll see if that will help get Chubbzilla back up front.
And what's interesting is Hoosier said, our good old tire is the 1425. They didn't listen to Hoosier.
Green means go once again. 24 laps remaining in this Firecracker 100 as Daryl Lanigan continues to lead. He's got Brian Burkhofer running in a second. And here comes Jimmy Mars underneath Francis for position as we look out the back end of Lanigan's 29.
I mean, do we get any better here at Speed? Look at the camera angles we're bringing you. We showed you Jimmy Mars getting by Steve Francis. Oh my gosh, it is like he's been shot out of a cannon, this 28 of Jimmy Mars. Here he comes.
I wonder if that flat tire may have put the coals to the fire on Jimmy Mars, because he is reeling in the top 2.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Scott Bloomquist made this famous. He a couple years ago, he started making pit stops in these long races and just coming to the front. So who knows? You know, monkey see, monkey do. Maybe everybody's going to start making stops and adjusting their chassis in these big 100-lap races.
Quaker State Speed Cam as the top 3 nose to tail into turn number 1 and 2 with 21 laps remaining. Lanigan running the extreme low side. Burkhofer on the extreme high side. Mars right down the middle.
I cannot get over the forward bite that Jimmy Mars is getting. That's the most sideways I've seen Mars all night long. He just got in that corner a little hard. He smells the win. I know he does. Look at it. He's thinking, I can win it.
Something I noticed off the corner, though, the Mars number 28 car seems to be handling a little bit better. There's no wiggle on it.
I'm going to tell you what, race fans, sideways is bad. Even though we're on dirt, anybody that's sideways, they're going to be slow. Jimmy Mars looks like an asphalt car right now. Look at this. Okay, look at this car. Just look at that. It's not really sideways. That's the rear end geometry making the car look all weird. But if you look at the left front, you look at the left rear, look at this. Just look at that. Hardly sideways at all. It looks like an asphalt car.
A well-balanced race machine underneath him.
Oh, man, you know, and he builds his own race cars. Let's give it up for Jimmy Mars. Building his own race car. These guys know that if I'm going to get an advantage over these rocket cars or these Bloomquist cars, some of these guys are just saying, look, I'm going to start building my own car. So give it up for Jimmy Mars.
Burkhofer also running one of those Mars chassis, so these two guys can swap notes back and forth, but right now it is Jimmy Mars with the advantage, and he is rapidly closing in on Daryl Lanigan. Lanigan looking for his first win of the season with the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. Jimmy Mars, his best finish, 4th place at Farmer City earlier this year. And late in the event 1 year ago, Daryl Lanigan lost the lead in the Firecracker 100. Will it be deja vu all over again?
Oh my gosh. Okay, Daryl Lanigan, your leader, number 29, has owned this race the last 2 years. He's leading with 16 laps to go. But here's Jimmy Mars. Uh-oh, is my voice picking up? Here I go. I'm getting excited up here in the booth.
You should be getting excited because it's getting exciting on the track. Lanigan feels the pressure. He can hear the motor from the number 28 of Jimmy Mars closing in on him. Lanigan works the bottom. Here comes Mars on the top side within a car length, and here comes Pearson for third.
Unbelievable. Earl Pearson Jr. came through the B main. He's now trying to take over third. Look at his left front. Oh, look at this for the win. This is for the lead. 14 laps to go.
Mars on the top side literally pushed the 29 of Lanigan down the back straightaway. Lanigan holds court once again as they cross the stripe with 13 laps remaining. He runs the bottom. Now he moves up a group. Mars right there following in his tire tracks.
Unbelievable. 100 laps. There's 13 to go. Here comes Earl Pearson past Berkey. Oh, Burkhoff riding high, trying to come back with Earl Pearson. Pearson gets that moisture on the bottom. Jimmy Mars looking for the win.
Ever so close off of corner number 2 as Pearson continues to battle back in position number 3 and 4. You're watching your leaders head into the turn as the number 29 of Lanigan still with the advantage. The Bluegrass Bandit has it as they cross the line with 12 to go. So now if you're Jimmy Mars, when do you make your move?
Man, I'll tell you what, he's got to be looking at the scoreboard. These race car drivers, they can look out the race car and they can see the scoreboard. So you know Mars knows how many laps there is to go. Here he is on the inside. Can he get him this time?
Daryl Lanigan made one mistake in the 2008 version of the Firecracker 100 and it cost him. Now he's doing everything he can to keep Jimmy Mars behind him. 10 to go as they work their way down into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Mars one more time closing in.
Uh-oh, looks like Mars is starting to push. His car is set up so much for asphalt. He's starting to push, meaning the rear end will not come around on him. Look at it. Look at it pushing.
Will the lap traffic come into play as we have 9 to go? And this is the closest that Mars has been on Lanigan into the turn. Lanigan still runs the bottom as Mars still searching for the fastest way around him. One slower car in front of the leaders.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Here goes Mars. This is it. Is this it? Here's a lap car in front.
No, he cannot make it work. Lanigan able to hold him off one more time, but Mars seems to be getting that
momentum.
momentum.
Here we go again. Oh my gosh, lap car. He's gonna pick him.
Can he use him in the pick and roll? Let's find out. Mars is gonna go to the top side. Lanigan works the bottom. 7 to go. Jimmy Mars with a run off of corner number 2. And he can't make it work. Now he'll take a look to the bottom into turn 3.
Whoa,
3 wide.
Here we go. The lap car is out. Unbelievable, unbelievable. He does it. He does it. 7 to go.
Jimmy Mars, your new race leader of this Firecracker 100. Daryl Lanigan had dominated since the drop of the green, but now Jimmy Mars, after changing a flat tire on lap 28, takes the lead with 6 laps remaining.
Are you kidding me, race fans? Are you sitting on your couches saying, why is Kenny Wallace going crazy? I'm going crazy. It's $30,000 to win. And Jimmy Mars takes the lead with 6 laps to go.
One car not to count. Oh, yellow is out. 5 laps remaining, and we've got caution on the Speedway.
No.
Yellow lights coming on. It's going to change the complexion of this one. Russell King, Rookie of the Year contender out of Bristolville, Ohio, coming to a stop. Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you what, if I'm Jimmy Mars, I'm sick right now.
Lap number 28, Jimmy Mars came in. There's the cut on the tire. You can see they changed that Hoosier. And then he started his charge to the front, getting by Earl Pearson Jr. on lap number 70. And then on lap 81, getting around Brian Burkhofer for second. And Kenny, as you saw it, on lap number 94, the bonsai move to the inside to get around Daryl Lanigan.
But look how good he is. They lay off of each other, no wrecking each other. I mean, incredible job of driving by these 2 great race car drivers.
Sarah Jane Hunt is down in the pit. She has more.
Jimmy Mars in that 28 is a rocket tonight. He is part of that MB chassis. M for Mars, B for Burkhofer. Last year, Brian was able to bring that chassis into victory lane. Could Mars do it here again tonight? Also, keep an eye out on Earl Pearson Jr. in that 44. He's been driving a rocket all year, but decided to go to his old standby, the Masterbuilt, which he felt more comfortable in here for the long haul. So as it appears, as he started 20th and is up to 3rd, that was the right choice for Earl Pearson Jr.
Boy, we talk about how tires come into play, chassis coming into play here tonight. We have the green back out with 5 laps remaining. Kenny Wallace, and here comes Daryl Lanigan looking to reclaim the lead.
Unbelievable. Look at this. Look at Earl Pearson. 1, 2, 3. It's Mars, Lanigan, Pearson. No, that's not David Pearson, baby. That's Earl Pearson Jr. Here he comes.
Jimmy Mars leads him down into turn number 1. He's opened up a 2-car length advantage over Daryl Lanigan. Does he start to hear the ticks, the beeps, the tweaks, the sounds, or what's going through his mind?
Oh, man, let me tell you what, Jimmy Mars is so good, so great. He's been doing it for so many years. He goes, okay, hit your marks, let off the gas. Look at Mars in that white number 28. There's Lanigan. Lanigan is thinking, you're kidding me. I'm going to lose this race again with 10 laps to go?
Doing everything he can to hold on to the 2 spot is Earl Pearson Jr. riding in 3rd. Brady Smith in the 2-car holding on to 4th. Parallel sticks are up. We have 2 laps remaining. Can Jimmy Mars pull off the improbable after changing that flat tire?
I'm going to tell you what, I'm impressed with Brady Smith. There he is in the number 2. What a great run, running 4th here at the Firecracker 100.
Bringing it off of corner number 4, white flag is in the air. Jimmy Mars takes him down into turn number 1 and 2. Lap 28, had the flat tire, took it in, got it changed. He'll set it up down the back straightaway. Nobody there to challenge him. Jimmy Mars out of Menominee, Wisconsin, is going to win the 3rd edition of the Firecracker 100.
You got to give credit where it's due. Daryl Lanigan 2nd. Earl Pearson 3rd, Brady Smith 4th, Steve Francis 5th. What a race.
Incredible. Changed the tire on lap number 28 and came back out, Kenny. He was up on the wheel.
And you know what I say all the time? We go to your local short track and they go 20 laps for the big A main. This guy right here with 7 laps to go pulls a straightaway.
We're going to talk to our winner when we return as Jimmy Mars wins the Firecracker 100. Stick around. This is brought to you by Armor All. Go ahead, stare. The World of Outlaws World Finals. Live it. And by GottaRace.com. Competition race gear. Welcome back. The World of Outlaws Late Model Series here on Speed. The Firecracker 100 has completed, and it's Jimmy Mars picking up an impressive win.
Man, what a great win for this guy. Now, he looks like he's mad. Come on, Jimmy, 30 grand to win, baby. People have, there's a smile out of Mars.
Let's take a look at the Just Plugs race recap. 28 cars at the drop of the super clean start of the race as Daryl Lanigan and Steve Francis brought him down, and it was Daryl Lanigan taking the lead on lap 13.
And right now, we're just trying to log laps. We're thinking, are these guys going to be up front? And we find out at the end that, yes, Lanigan was up front all night.
Lap number 23, Brian Burkhofer and Tim Fuller get together. Fuller with the short end of that as extensive damage on the 19, but it didn't slow down Berkey.
Well, Berkey just got a little bit of door damage, maybe a little bit of aerodynamic problems, but look at there, right in front, they ended up lapping Scott Bloomquist.
Lap number 28, Jimmy Mars comes into the pits for a fresh left rear tire as he cut one down. Then on lap 7, he started the charge to the front, getting by Earl Pearson Jr.
Man, his car was hooked up. Jimmy Mars' car was knocked sideways all night long, and that was the key to things.
Took second there from Burkhofer, and then on lap 94 with 6 laps remaining in traffic was able to get around the number 29 of Daryl Lanigan to take home the win as he would bring it off of corner number 4, $30,000 to the winner, Jimmy Mars, and he is standing by with Sarah Jane Hunt.
In the past, we've talked a lot about Bloomquist chassis here in Victory Lane, but for the 2nd year in a row, it's an MB chassis. Jimmy Mars, you brought it home tonight, and you've given everybody something to talk about.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy race there. I think it was number 5, Blose or something like that, ran into me 2 or 3 times. I was early in the race. I didn't know what his problem was. Gave me a flat tire. I guess I got a little bit ticked off there and able to come up through, and the car worked great tonight. And you know, we had a heck of a race when we got into the top 4, and I thought I might have a chance to win it. And then you know, it just kept getting better and better. The car did, and they started sliding a little bit more each lap. So you know, I had enough laps to get it done.
I don't know if you know how dominant Daryl Lanigan was throughout the night, but when you caught him there on the backstretch, there was one car in lap traffic. You went right by him. I mean, that just proves how good you were tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. You know, I know Daryl's been good here. You know, we kind of struggled early for qualifying in a heat race, just kind of were there. I knew we had a good car at the beginning of the show tonight, but it was, you know, he had a lot of carnage in the way, and he just kind of want to let everything settle down and then get racing about lap 50. But we didn't get the chance. We got run over right away and got a flat tire and had to come from the back. And luckily, it didn't hurt more than what we did on the car, so it worked out all right.
The car did work good, and in fact, it worked phenomenal. So next year when we come back to the Firecracker, everyone's going to be talking about the MB chassis and if they can get to victory lane for the 3rd year in a row.
An impressive run by Jimmy Mars, taking home the $30,000 winner's share from the Firecracker 100. Let's take a look at the Armor All finish. Jimmy Mars, Daryl Lanigan, Earl Pearson Jr., and how about Brady Smith there in 4th, Kenny?
Oh, yeah, great job for Steve Francis, and of course, 6th, Brian Burkhofer, and of course, the winner, Jimmy Mars. They build their cars together.
Shane Clanton coming up for a top 10 finish. Chubb Frank will be credited with position number 12. Tim Fuller back there in 15th. Dale McDowell tried nursing that car home, but he comes up 19th.
Yeah, Dale McDowell, broken left front A-frame, something like that. And here's the big story. Scott Bloomquist, 24th, too loose, he says.
A tough night for the driver out of Tennessee. Daryl Lanigan is standing by with Sarah Jane.
It's kind of a look of bewilderment and frustration on Daryl Lanigan's face right now. You were absolutely dominant here tonight. Take us through those final laps and what happened.
Nah, I seen the 28 on the board coming. I knew where he started in the back, so I knew he was pretty good. But I don't know what they had on for tires. Somebody said something I couldn't believe, but I don't know. I just snake bit right now.
When he got into the lap traffic there on the backstretch and he came underneath of you, was there anything that you had left for him to get back around him? On the last restart, you tried to go low, but it wasn't quite enough.
No, he was pretty good there. I mean, he had a lot of traction up off the corner. There wasn't nothing I could do.
Can you kind of sum up your weekend? I mean, you led everything this weekend, and when it comes down to it, just not quite enough for you.
We have a lot of luck, but it's all bad.
Obviously dejected, Daryl Lanigan. It's not the place he wanted to finish.
Man, I mean, you know, Daryl Lanigan finished 2nd. He had a great race tonight. I mean, you know, I think what he's upset about is this happened 2 years in a row.
Let's take a look at the points for the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. After 21 races, Josh Richards with a slim lead over Steve Francis.
You know, these guys are fighting it out for the championship. This is a really big deal. I mean, there's some great race car drivers there, and it's all about the long run. What will happen next week? What will happen a month from now?
Jimmy Mars celebrates in victory lane. To the winners goes the spoils.
I think the spoils are those good-looking girls, because I hope those bottle rockets don't fire up in his face.
The next time you'll see the World of Outlaws Late Model Series on television, Saturday, August 15th at 3 p.m. It's the Go for 50 from the Deer Creek Speedway. And then the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series takes center stage Sunday, August 9th at 5 p.m. The Kings Royal from Eldora. We hope you will join us. Oh, what a weekend here at Lernerville. Kenny Wallace, the fans were here, the drivers were here, and there were race cars.
And it's kind of sad. It's all over. We've had such a great weekend. Here's highlights of the B and C main. He was spitting mad, remember that?
Everybody looking for something to do. Well, the crews were going to have something to do. A lot of wrecked race cars. Tim McCready, a tough break for him. He did not make the A main.
And that's not like McCready, but better luck ahead for Tim McCready, one of the good ones.
28 cars took the green at the start of the Firecracker 100, and it was exciting from start to finish. Daryl Lanigan was able to get by the number 19 of Steve Francis to lead early on.
And there was battling all night long. Look at this. Left rear flat for the 19 of Fuller. His night is done.
His crew going to work on that car to get him back out there. Brian Burkhofer had no damage, but Dale McDowell did. His crew chief, Tommy Greco, giving him some signs.
And for a moment in time, it looked like he was going to win.
And then the 28 of Jimmy Mars on lap number 28. A left rear flat came back out and started the charge to the front.
Jimmy Mars, Brian Burkhofer, all building their cars together. Here they are, both of them. They both said, let's build our own cars. Why? to win the race, to beat Daryl Lanigan on the inside.
For more information, log on to speedtv.com or worldofoutlaws.com. For Sarah Jane Hunt and Kenny Wallace, my name is Shane Andrews saying thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the races.